gentlemen, turn your speakers up. It's time for the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. Turn up the bass. A podcast discussing all things AEW and WWE. Oh yeah! Let's meet the hosts. First, a man hailing from the hub city in Indiana. He goes by @TooSweetKyle on Twitter. The host, Kyle Gagliardi. And your co-host, hailing from the valley of Lake Tahoe. He goes by @JimTuck89 on Twitter. Jim Tucker. And last but not least, hailing from the cornfield somewhere in Indiana, the full-time part-timer, Ian Garavaglia. Turn up the bass. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram @PodOnTheMark.
What is going on, everyone? You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks, and I'm your host, Mr. OTM Kyle Gagliardi. And this evening, I am joined by the full-time part-timer who has been taking some time away as of late, Ian Garavaglia. Ian, what's up, dog?
What's up, dog? It is not by choice. So last week I was at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum, which was pretty sick after hours. Could have stole one of those cars, but I did not do it. But kind of sick. But yeah, no, I was not going to miss this week. I made sure of it, and I told my boss, I was like, hey, man, no site visits after on a Thursday evening anymore. Well, at least just for this week. But I'm excited to be back.
You tell them that you had quite the hot commodity of a guest coming on the show this evening?
I did, and they didn't know what I was talking about.
Oh, well, they're going to know soon, because everybody is going to know very soon once he arrives. I think he actually is hanging out in the studio, but we got to do a little bit of the shilling a little bit before we get into our conversation with the rudest Trevor Outlaw. Guys, if you want to help us keep the lights on over here at the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, you can go to the onthemarkwrestlingpodcast.com, get yourself some t-shirts like the one I am wearing. We got hats, we got mugs. Hey, it's getting warmer out, Ian. Maybe a new tank for the gym. What do you think?
It is not getting warmer. It got warmer, and now it's getting colder. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, I almost died on Tuesday because of the tornadoes in Chicago.
Crazy. But yeah, no, it is starting to get warmer eventually in a couple weeks, maybe, hopefully. But we're all getting into the summer bod, especially those around us. You know, we're all going to the gym. We're going to show off the muscles a little bit. Right. You know, pump the chest.
We did a chest day the other day, didn't we? When I visited. That was the other day. I visited you on Valentine's Day.
I was gonna say that was a while ago, brother.
We were pumping iron though, and hey, that's what we like to do. Thank God Kyle survived. You know what? I don't know what we would have done. Ian would have had to do this interview completely by himself, or we could have brought in producer Deadpool. I guess we could have done that. Yeah, he's always around. But speaking of people that are always around, the Main Event Wrestling Network is always around and always uploading new content every single day. We are proudly a part of the Main Event Wrestling Network, which also is the t-shirt sponsor for tomorrow night Warrior Wrestling Madness. The real reason we are all here, because the first 100 fans that arrive to tomorrow night's show are going to get a nice t-shirt with that Madness logo and the Main Event logo on it. So once again, 2 straight shows in a row. Main Event moves are happening. Ian, you'd love to see it.
Love it. Yeah, and this is, I'm just going to guess, this is only the beginning of our partnership with Warrior. We've been to so many other shows, especially even when they're pro wrestling ventures. Incredible people, and it's an honor to support them and support the show.
Yeah, we want to thank them for always letting us hang out and help them out. So it looks like the comments are already trickling in. He says, Trevor wins or we riot. So I guess you guys want to talk to Trevor Outlaw, huh? Is that what the vibe I'm getting from the chat, Ian?
I want to talk to Trevor Outlaw. Can I?
Yeah, I guess we should. So ladies and gentlemen, get ready, because tonight on OTM, we've got the Rootster himself. He is one half of Hot Commodity and is also gunning for the Freelance World title. And this Friday, he collides with Sam Beale at Warrior Wrestling Madness. He's rude. He's reckless. Everyone, please welcome Trevor Outlaw to OTM. Trevor, what is going on, my friend?
Here comes the Roodster, indeed.
This is a long time coming. How you doing?
It is. Not too shabby. A lot of moving pieces. We're getting ready. I got some big matches this month. Really dialing in on my nutrition, my fitness. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life. So shout out to Forza Gear, not only for the greatest wrestling gear on the market. He is a personal trainer as well, and he's gotten me really, really dialed in for this. So I'm excited.
I was going to tell. I was going to say that I can tell that you're definitely on some kind of workout plan. You're looking a little lean and mean over there, man.
Yeah, man. Every morning, 6 a.m., if I'm not at church, I'm in the gym right before work, getting it done. And, this is some of the biggest opportunities I've had of my career. And it started with wrestling Joey at the beginning of the year. He pushed me to a limit physically I've never been pushed to before. And I think now, I'm getting a little older. I'd like to think I'm getting a little bit wiser. Everybody treats me like trash, and I dish it right back to them. But I think earlier on in my career, I would get a little too wrapped up in the fans or in all the shenanigans, and things always backfired. But since Warrior Wrestling came back, nobody's been able to touch me. I'm undefeated in the Warrior return, and I'm going to continue that streak tomorrow.
Well, time will tell, because you're going up against the Perminator, who is a former guest here of OTM. We like Sam. I like you too, Trevor. It's not anything personal here, but I do want to go all the way.
Biased, but
let's go back to the beginning, though, real quick, because this interview, like I said, has been a long time in the making.
Yes.
And I kind of want to go back to the basics here, because most wrestlers, we all start as fans. So I'm curious, Mr. Outlaw, when were you bitten by the pro wrestling bug, whether it was a match, promo, or a specific moment that you vividly remember?
I think it was when I was like 5 years old. My cousin, he's like 10 years older than me, and he's like a foot taller than me. I wish I got those side of the family genetics. But he would toss me around on the couch whenever they would come over, and we would watch wrestling. And I just thought it was the coolest thing as a kid. As I got older, I was a little bit more of like I left the city and became a suburbanite and quickly became a skater kid. And then as high school, I got into amateur wrestling. And, from there, I always watched pro wrestling. I never really stopped. Went to college at Iowa, and Iowa had a great amateur team. And then I met buddies that liked pro wrestling. So, I kind of always had a foot in both worlds, but I was always like, what if maybe I got into wrestling? And, my graduating exhibit at Iowa was based around professional wrestling. And, I did graphic design and marketing. So, I presented, it was kind of like a soft launch of myself, if you will.
Sure. And
moved back to Chicago. And then I found out that there was a wrestling school nearby. There was the Freelance Wrestling Academy, and, the rest was history. So, wrestling's always kind of been a part of my life. But, one day I just decided to take the leap, and here I am all these years later. It's either the smartest or dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. But.
Fair.
Well, I think that's how it always starts too. It's always the question of, well, if I don't do it now, will I ever do it? And exactly. I feel like that's kind of where it always stems from. But I'm glad you brought up the Wrestling Academy, because you were trained by also some Warrior veterans in the likes of, the lovely Kylie Ray and her amazing husband. I just want to know your biggest takeaways, maybe in ring or character wise, that you have taken. Obviously, you got your personality from Kylie Ray. You're the nicest guy in the world. So okay,
I was like, where are we going with this one now? All right, good turnaround.
Yeah, I just wanted to know from now, looking back, what was your greatest takeaway? Obviously, you learned the in ring stuff, but maybe it was a mentality wise. What was your biggest takeaway?
There's a lot. I think if I break one down from each of them. With Isaiah, it was always to just keep working and keep pushing. The work never stops. I go to training every week still. I've gone to training every week since my first day of training. Even when I was injured, when I tore my ACL, I obviously wasn't there every week because I do PT and stuff, but I was still going in, seeing who the new kids were, and just hanging out, helping out where I can. I don't see myself as somebody that should be like a wrestling trainer or anything like that, but like where I'm at now, and with some of the other guys from the academy that were from class one, like paying it forward, I can be an asshole, but you know what? There's something that is really nice about being able to help the future, whether it's just like, hey, I've done this, and it's not so much of me like, oh, do this in a match or do this. It's more so of like, hey, like I did this and this kind of screwed me over pretty bad. So like maybe don't make the same mistakes I have. I'm a better example of what not to do in a lot of terms. But yeah, from Isaiah, it was always just keep working, keep pushing, leave it better than the way that you found it. And the same thing with Kylie. But I think with Kylie, the biggest thing for her was pushing me to go elsewhere. She trained with Booker T, and leaving Chicago to go learn elsewhere. It's not that I was done learning at freelance. You're never going to stop learning. I learned something new from Isaiah every week. Mm-hmm. But getting outside and trying to learn something new and go somewhere else, that's to say, you go away and you learn a new hold. That was what kind of got me to go to the Nightmare Factory and learn from Cody and QT and everybody there. And the timing of going to the Nightmare Factory was perfect because it was still towards the end of the pandemic. I was like, hey, there's nothing going on. I'm going to go for 3 months to New Atlanta because it was in this cold spring here. And getting to go there and learn was an incredible experience. QT is one of the toughest SOBs you'll ever meet. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. And I'm more drawn, and neither does Isaiah. And I think I'm drawn to training styles like that because they're not going to tell you like, if you did a good job, like, all right, cool, get out. The next person's going in and get ready for the next drill. But if you mess something up, they're going to tell you what sucked and why and how to correct it. How to improve, how to take the background that I had in wrestling before and apply that to what I'm doing. With Cody Rhodes, the huge thing with him was presentation. He said, you have good gear, make sure that you take care of your appearance, make sure you keep doing that. It's taken me a lot of years to get in the physical shape that I'm in. I've just had to push myself harder, but he helped me out a lot with like presenting who I am and how do you market Trevor Outlaw? Like what's your thing? Everybody knows me as the guy with leopard print. Like you see leopard print and you associate that to me. I learned something like that from him when I'm doing a promo, making sure I'm addressing everybody that's in the room, but looking around if it's going to be filmed so that the people, making sure that you're getting everybody. It's not what we do is obviously most of it is live, and especially with how Warrior runs their shows now, we don't stream, but it's meant for the live audience, but we still film everything. So you still want to make sure you're learning how to incorporate all of those things into your work.
And that's, I like the fact that you pointed out marketing yourself and putting more attention on that. And Cody, maybe it was the one that nudged you in that direction, or QT Marshall. But that's the first thing I noticed when I first saw you live, because I didn't know of you and what your background was when I went to the first Warrior show. But I could just tell you knew how to present yourself, because not everybody in independent wrestling knows how to present themselves in that professional manner. But it seems like you're always on. Is that the case?
Yeah, I mean, I think in coming from a world where if we pull back the curtain, being in sales and working in corporate America, like navigating the wrestling world is very similar to navigating the corporate world. I've got people that are trying to stab me in the back, left and right. Maybe not now where I'm at. Right now, I'm in a really good spot, and I love where I'm at now. But I've been in places where it's like people are slashing at each other's throats just to try to hit their quotas and whatnot. And it's like, I know how to navigate through those. I've definitely had my fair share of times where I've let my emotion get the best of me. You've seen it in the ring, you've seen it outside, but for the most part, I try to present myself in as best of a way possible. I'm not the one to, and this is no knock to anybody, but I'm not looking like I'm rolling out of bed coming up to a show, right? I don't wear sweatpants and a hoodie, and if I do, it's a leopard print and it's matching. But appearance is everything. I see guys now, coming to shows, and it's like before the NBA games, rolling out fashion shows kind of thing. And it's
right.
Like we're all divas wearing spandex at the end of the day, no matter how tough anybody is. But presentation's important, and I remember I was like helping out. This was like before I got on like a Black Label show. I was like helping sweep, and they're like, oh, the guy with the cool shirt. It's like you see something and then it sticks. So like. It all ties back, how you present yourself professionally, but also like from a marketing and presentation standpoint, like brand awareness is everything.
Absolutely. And now the reason we brought you in was to talk about your match against Sam Beale at Warrior Wrestling. But I did mention your experience with freelance wrestling, and you have quite the opportunity coming up on March 27th at Lucky Charm. And freelance seems to mean a lot to you, obviously. But what makes you believe that this is finally the time where you can dethrone the champion? Why now for Trevor Outlaw and freelance?
The first advantage I have off the back, I've beaten Devon Monroe before. The last time we wrestled at Trev Timber a couple of years back, I beat him. I'm the last person that's pinned Devon Monroe, so I'm coming in with that advantage. And I'm coming in with that confidence knowing I've done it before and I can do it again. Where Trevor Outlaw of 2026 differs from the last time I had a title match in 2023, and where I was when the first shows back I was main eventing in 21, was I was at the dance, but I wasn't quite ready. And I might have been ready physically, and I might have been ready, to go against my opponents, but I didn't have the right mentalities that I have now. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've lost a lot of matches because of stupid things. I spent half of my year fighting with a referee. I spent the last year, it took me an entire year to get this damn Red Star medallion because some little surfer kid wanted to come and have a good time at my expense. But now I'm dialed in, I'm focused. The way I see it, it's now or never for me. My first day of training, I told myself I was going to be the freelance champion. And outside of the ring and in life, I like to be a man of my word. And if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I do it. I have not, for 7 years, been able, since the day I started training to now, I have not been able to say that I've won the freelance championship. So now I don't want to win the championship. I have to win the championship. This is a must-win situation. And Devon Monroe has been a hell of a champion for the last year, but Logan Square Auditorium is my house. Freelance wrestling is my home, and there's no better time than now.
Whew.
I love it. That's goosebumps. And I think bringing that emotion into a title match, albeit, is extremely important, not just for your motivation, but I think it brings a fire that I think a title match should be bringing out of somebody, and I think you have that chase inside of you. So I'm excited. I'm ready to see you become a champion. Finally.
And I've lost too much, like I've said, and not just losing the matches. To get to this championship, it's cost me everything. Mm-hmm. It's cost me friends. It's cost me relationships. It's cost me relationships with family. My own mother got in the ring with me and tried to mess with me. It's cost me opportunities and other career paths, but when I have my mind set on something, I've got to do it. And I've never been more locked in mentally, physically. This is a completely different side of Trevor Outlaw that most people probably aren't used to seeing. It's always fun and games, and I'm always down to have a good time, right? I'm always down to shake my tush and have some fun, but we're locked in.
I love it. Well, going from freelance, one of Chicago's biggest independent wrestling programs. We're going to go back to Warrior Wrestling
Yes.
with Pro Wrestling Ventures. Obviously, that was our first introduction to you and seeing you in a pro wrestling ring. I want to ask you,
what was your first show? I don't. Do you guys remember which one it was?
I think the first time we
Stadium
saw
Series.
you was South Bend. I thought the first time we saw him was at South Bend at the Bendix Arena.
Was that against Sky or?
I'm not 100% sure, but you were hanging out with Jeremy Tillema, the referee, who we were friends with, and that's how we introduced our... Yeah, Jeremy's a piece of shit, ain't he?
He is.
And we don't like that guy. Hopefully he's not reffing your match.
If he is, I'm just going to punch him in the balls.
Oh, please do.
If you do, then I am going to pick you to win this match. So
I'll do it before the bell rings, too, so he can't DQ me. And then I'll do it again afterwards just for a little fun.
Smart.
We'll take those clips and we'll post them on our shorts. Thanks,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
Well, I just wanted to ask you, so with Warrior Wrestling, obviously the company is extremely important to us in our pro wrestling fandom. I want to ask you, as a wrestler, from an outside looking in, it seems like Warrior Wrestling, with Steve and Eric running the show, obviously they're extremely careful with the talent they choose and extremely respectful with the talent they choose. I want to ask you, what makes having a company like Warrior Wrestling around in the independent circle today, why is it so important?
Warrior Wrestling, as much as as much as Steve and Eric piss me off, and they it seems like every time I wrestle for them, they try to throw me something that somebody's trying to kill me. But Warrior Wrestling is also like a home to me as well. You know, I know like where I trained at is my main, but like I have multiple homes, and Warrior Wrestling is one of those. I think for me, what makes it important too is when I was coming up, you know, on the days of just setting up the rings and paying your dues and trying to earn your way on, they were one of the earlier companies to take a chance on me. And, you know, the funny thing is Sam Beale and I have very similar paths. It's the same thing for him. You know, I met that smelly, you know, alcoholic bozo years ago. And I mean, we've set up rings together. We've torn down rings together. We've been in pre-show matches, never in the same ones. We've been on multiple cards together. We've never touched.
No way.
And you know, it's cool to see this is a match of two homegrown talents to this brand. You know, Warrior Wrestling, I remember going to Warrior before I even started wrestling, one of the first shows, and I'm like, it was just stacked with super indie talent. And to be a regular on the roster for that kind of a legacy that an independent company has established, I don't take something like that lightly. And they've given me a lot of really cool opportunities. They've made a fool out of me and embarrassed me more times than I can count. But I've also gotten to do a lot of really cool stuff and have matches that I probably wouldn't have had in other places. You know, so Warrior holds a near and dear place in my heart. And getting to do all of the crazy places that we've done shows in, and now that we're touring again and doing something in Chicago, for them to do a show, and I mean, this is my home building. Like, Logan Square Auditorium is my house. I don't care what anybody else says. It's my house. So to now get to have the first Warrior show happen in my house against another homegrown talent, it's a special thing. And you know what? I'm going to make an announcement for you guys actually right now.
Okay.
I'm going to give you guys an exclusive, an OTM exclusive.
Thank you.
Tomorrow night, we are going to have the first live edition of Trash Talk with Trevor.
Oh, boy. That's going to be a riot.
Yep.
Let's go.
First live edition. So I got some things, you know, I want to get off my chest. And, you know, yesterday I was sideswiped while my car was parked. And I wanted to get mad. And, you know, surprisingly, I didn't lose my cool, believe it or not. I know it's hard to believe Trevor Outlaw didn't lose his cool for something. But there was a crushed beer can on the ground nearby and some curly hairs that I found near the scene. And I filed a police report, and this is real. I will bring pictures so that everybody can see it tomorrow. I posted it on my story so people can see. I think that curly-haired son of a bitch hit my car.
You know,
and I'm going to expose him for it tomorrow.
That might be a conspiracy theory right there. I don't know if you got concrete evidence.
I got concrete evidence. It was a crushed-up Busch Light can, and I found a curly hair.
Well, if
there
it was
some other
Busch Light,
unsavory things I found on the ground nearby there, but it's
we don't speak of those things. Right?
Yeah.
No, fair enough. Well, a lot of us obviously know you from Warrior and from Freelance, but some people might not know that you are a part of a tag team, one half of Hot Commodity, as Ian's wearing the T-shirt right there with Hayden Backlund. You've racked up some big wins over the past few years. So how has that tag team chemistry influenced your singles run, and do you see Hot Commodity chasing more gold sometime in the near future?
Yeah, you know, I don't want to give Kylie Ray credit for something she didn't tell me to go. I might have never met Hayden. Hayden's another Nightmare Factory guy, and it's funny the story of us meeting this other guy. Like, I brought gear down that Fuerza made for somebody down there, and he introduced me. He's like, "Oh, you can make some friends out here." I'm like, "I don't know how well I make friends," but they tried to pit Hayden and I against each other, and we instantly became best friends. Years later, we got the opportunity to wrestle each other at BLP, and we beat the piss out of each other. But we were just like, "Dude, this is just what everybody wants us to do. Like, what if we combine forces and try to make something out of this?" And it just came to us. We were just like, boom, Hot Commodity. The name came right off the jump. The name was me. The song was Hayden, and it's like everything. It's not like this is all mine. This is all, like, we just throw ideas at each other, and it's like we just ping pong off of each other, and it's such a wonderful thing that like has made me love tag team wrestling. I would love to tag with Hayden more. You know, we've gotten to do a match here at Warrior. He just got cleared from shoulder surgery, so I think after I get through Sam Beale, you know, I'd love to tag with Hayden more. Outside of, you know, being tag team champions at Black Label Pro, you know, we've gotten to wrestle in some other places as well, and I think it's hard to say how the styles influence each other because tag team wrestling is so much different from singles wrestling. Yeah. But I think if you can make it as a singles wrestler, it's not that you can exactly make it as a tag wrestler, because finding somebody that you get along with, that you can work with really well, is very difficult to do. But the stamina to wrestle, you know, if you can wrestle all that time on your own, having somebody else to help you out is great. You know, when we were early on in our tag career, I had pneumonia really bad, and I didn't know at first. I was just yakking before matches and was like, all right, let's go out there and do it. And, you know, there was one day I was puking up blood before a match, and Hayden was like, we're not doing this match. And I said, yes, we are. We got out there, and I mean, we did it together, but like he kicked so much ass for me. And it's one of those things that, like, he has had my back in situations like that, and a couple of other things in real life that, like, nobody else in the business I could say ever has. That he's somebody that not only is he going to be my tag team partner for life, that's somebody that, like, he'll be in my wedding one day, you know, no doubt about it. He'll be standing up there. So he's brother for life.
That's what's up.
Well, and Hayden is not only your one friend in the wrestling industry. We also met him before as well. Frank the Clown. We know you guys go way back. I just want to ask you how that relationship is. Just in a few words, how would you explain your guys' relationship, both personally and professionally? And I just find it really interesting because you guys started pretty similar in the wrestling industry.
Yeah. Frank and I have a very interesting relationship. We get along very well, but when we are not on the same page with each other, we don't have that type of energy that it's like, pause, put a pin in this, let's talk about this later. It's like, no, we're talking about this now. And it sometimes happens in matches. You know, Frank sometimes tries to tell me what moves to do in my matches if I'm not the one that's wrestling the damn match, and it's backfired on me. And I may have or may not have flipped him off a couple of times, and afterwards I'm like, hey, my bad. He's may have done some and said some unsavory things to me, and afterwards he's like, my bad. But at the end of the day, Frank saw something in me before anybody else did, and that's one of those things that I'll never forget. I've taken a lot of bullets for Frank, but Frank's also taken a lot for me, and I think that's one of those things that, like, friends fight. And you know, the key to a successful relationship, business relationship, personal relationship, any type of relationship you have, it's ebbs and flows. You know, you're gonna fight, but you got to work it out. And if you can't work it out, then you can't. But Frank and I have always been able to work it out, so it's we're good.
Well, hopefully you don't tail his parlays that he makes, because I've seen some of the bets that he makes on DraftKings, and it's not great. He even bets on Chinese ping pong, I think.
Yeah, I'm not much of a gambling man myself, you know.
You're smart.
I'm a lot more frugal.
There you go. That's probably why you got a lot more money than I do. But you're set to face off, let's talk about it, against the cold-hearted, handsome devil, Sam Beale, tomorrow at Warrior Madness. Now, Trevor, you're called the rudest for a reason, but Sam is a natural, which feels like a match that's been brewing in Warrior for quite some time now. And you've talked a big game in the past, but why is tomorrow the night? Why is it going to be your night against Sam Beale?
Because he's stepping into my house. It's just as simple as that, you know. I don't care about his perm. I don't care about his dumbass Nickelback song that he comes out to. I think Busch Light is the worst cheap beer on the market, and it's disgusting. It's piss water. And the fact that we glorify some bozo alcoholic because we think he's got a cool song. Guess what? My song's cooler, okay? The Strokes better. And my tag song, every once in a while, that's better too. So you know what? You can take Nickelback and shove it right up your ass.
Wait, whoa. What's going on here? Sam Beale in the house. Wait, sir.
Buddy, listen, you just lied through your teeth. I know you're a little bit of a liar, but Nickelback is the greatest band to ever live. That's why everybody loves me, right? Coming out to Rockstar, it's a meme. Everybody wants to try to hate on Nickelback, but everybody secretly loves it. Even you, Trevor. Just admit it.
Admit it, Trevor. You love it.
Bastard.
Admit it.
I don't love Nickelback.
Yes, you do. And you love Bush Light. You're just being a little hater. You're
No,
a
no,
little
no, no,
black
no, no.
sheep
Hell
hater
no.
right
All right,
now.
listen, I'll give you this. Nickelback may have one or two good songs,
All of them, yeah.
but I draw the line. I draw the line at you saying that I enjoy Busch Light. If I'm drinking a cheap beer, it's the champagne of beers, Miller High Life. That's
What?
it. You can take your Busch and shove it.
Dude, I literally have only drinking one Miller Lite or Miller High Life or whatever brand Miller in my entire life, and I threw up immediately. That is
Because you didn't have a
literal-
High Life. You said Miller Lite. You've never had the champagne of beers, brother.
Well, this is the nectar of the gods right
No,
here.
it's
Look,
not.
we got the lime and the Bush apple. There
That's
is
it.
nothing better.
And you know
I have
what?
like 7 of
Sam,
them.
I found one of those crushed up cans outside of my car last night, and I was sideswiped. So if you were drunk driving and you hit my car, I'm going to expose you tomorrow night. I'm going to expose you tonight in front of the Logan Square Auditorium. I'm going to let everybody know not only were you drinking and driving and you hit my car, but you're a horrible influence on wrestling and you don't belong at Warrior.
Okay, first off, buddy, I live in Rossford, Ohio, so I was not anywhere near
Likely
Chicago,
story.
Illinois. But I am a popular guy, so it was probably somebody who wants to look like me. Has this head of hair. It's not as good as my hair, but it's pretty cool. You know what they say, right? Like the highest flatteriness is mockery or imitation, right? So
Yes, I think it was
He's
Socrates
drunk
that
off
said
his
that.
ass right now.
something like that. I'm pretty drunk. I mean, I got two.
That's
of them.
okay. Yeah, you didn't bring 2 last time, so now we got 2 this time. That's what's up. But hey, I got a question for both of you guys while we got you here. Because Friday's just hours away, and the card is absolutely stacked, but this fight between you two feels personal. And to the fans watching right now, what should they expect? Why should they buy a ticket to tomorrow's card? Trevor, I'll start with you.
Because I'm going to beat the piss out of Sam all over Logan Square Auditorium. You want a wrestling match in the ring? Nah, throw that to the side. I want to fight you tomorrow, Sam. I'm going to beat your ass all over that building.
Hey, and you may just do that. But and honestly, Trevor, sitting back here watching you talk, it was awesome, dude. And I have so much respect for you. And you are at the top of your game. And you're gonna beat my ass all over your hometown of Logan Square Auditorium. But it's just not gonna be enough because the Perm Daddy comes to eat dubs at Warrior Wrestling. We're both homegrown, and I'm going to the top of Warrior Wrestling. I'm going for the gold with the Bush. You know what they say? The only thing better than a bush so cold is a belt so gold, baby.
Ooh, that could be a T-shirt, Ian.
I don't hate that T-shirt idea.
Just don't tell Henry to make an AI T-shirt out of it.
Well, speaking of Henry, while you bring him up, are you paying him to say nice things about you on social media?
Absolutely.
That's not true. That's not true. My OTM check cleared for me, and it is going strictly to the Bills. This is not going to that bald-headed fraud, Henry.
My severance package went directly to Trevor Outlaw. Full disclosure out there for everybody watching.
Did.
But Ian, you got any final questions for these two before we send them on their way?
Well, I can't really say much. I think we should just give the floor to these guys. Any final words before we clash before tomorrow and see? I genuinely, I'm stuck in a pickle because I love Trevor Outlaw, love you, dude. But also,
No, you don't.
Sam Beale guy, and I also like Bush. I like a Bush apple. So Sam,
Dude,
since
you don't love Trevor Outlaw. He's just here, so you're telling him that. Come on, let's be real here. The dude is a snake. All he does is cheat, but it's all right. You can try to cheat tomorrow, baby. It ain't gonna work. Ain't gonna work on me.
Trevor, you got any tricks up your sleeve?
Why would I reveal them on the
Because I'm trying to help out my friend Sam Beale over here.
So
I don't need
you're
help.
biased on the
My
intro.
help's right
You're
here.
biased now, trying to help him out.
You know what? I guess you're right. Maybe I am a little biased, but I'm not a professional
You're all
journalist. I'm just
You're all
fake
scumbags.
podcaster. Well,
Sam,
it's nice
I can't-
talking to you, Trevor.
I can't wait to rip that perm right out, those follicles right out of your head tomorrow, boy.
You better try. I mean, it's permanent, baby. I just got it redone. It's ready to rock and roll.
I'm ready for
I can
this.
smell the Jerry curl from over here.
Good. It's a strong one. It's my mom's finest work. She only uses top of the line pristine perm on this helmet of goodness.
There you go.
Your mother
people.
doesn't love you.
My mom loves me just like your mom loves me too.
Oh! Whoa!
I haven't seen my mom in years.
Oh!
Yeah, she's with me.
All right. Okay, I think that's enough out of you two. We'll let you guys handle it in the ring tomorrow night. Logan Square Auditorium, Warrior Wrestling Madness, Sam Beale versus Trevor Outlaw. Boys, thank you for joining us this evening. Appreciate it.
Yeah, the
You're very
pleasure's all
welcome.
yours.
Thanks, Trevor. See you later, man. Well, that was something.
I had a good time.
I had a good time. You were shitting your pants the entire time. What are you talking about?
Listen, I'm a little rusty, and you're moving the questions up, and I didn't see the questions getting moved up, and I got lost in the words.
Way to just give everybody a
well,
peek behind the
I
curtain.
don't
and tell-
memorize everything, boys.
Well, I don't memorize anything either. I just do it. We're all naturals here, right? We're not professionals, but man, it was a fantastic conversation with Trevor Outlaw. Truly a different side of Trevor that we've never seen before, Ian.
Yeah, it was almost vulnerable, which is a little worrying if you are Trevor Outlaw. Are you keeping emotions too much into the matches? I'm interested to see how tomorrow goes because I think there is pure hatred between these two. I have never seen these two in the same room and not calling each other insults. So I'm excited to see the path each of them take because I think Trevor is kind of turning a new leaf and still Trevor Outlaw, still the douchebag.
To his core, he
all
still
like.
is, yeah.
Yeah, but also he's got a little emotional at one point during that. So I'm intrigued.
Tino, I don't know how Sam randomly showed up either. It was a miracle. The perm was looking fantastic, though, on that Sam Beale, I tell you what. But speaking of those two and that show, you want to run through the card real quick and give some quick picks?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's do it. It's happening this Friday, tomorrow night at Logan Square Auditorium. We talked all about it, but now we're going to talk about every single one of these matches, give you a little background of what we might know and who we got winning each one. So let's start hot, Ian. Let's start with this dog collar match between Mad Dog Conley and Timothy Thatcher. And Mad Dog Conley put on an absolute clinic with Joey Janela, Rumble at Rheingeist 2 that happened about a month ago. And now we get to see Mad Dog go up against, I believe, Thatcher for the second time in a dog collar match, which is obviously his specialty. Now, there's also a little caveat here. Timothy Thatcher's got the WWE umbrella behind him now because he's the new general manager of Evolve. So a lot to digest here as Timothy Thatcher is back in WWE, but still working in the indies, which you love to see.
I did not see that. That is really freaking cool.
Smart.
Mad Dog, all these dog collar matches and what we've been seeing out of Warrior Wrestling with Mad Dog Connolly in Warrior Wrestling. Obviously, I didn't know anything about Mad Dog. But after seeing the few matches I have, the dude is a monster, especially when you put a dog collar match stipulation on the line. Whoever you put him against, it brings out something new out of not just him, but the opponent as well. And I
was going to say in wrestling in general, you don't see anybody like Mad Dog Conley anymore.
No, not at all. That pure, monster, it's a rare find in wrestling nowadays. But rematch between Mad Dog Connolly versus Timothy Thatcher. Now that Timothy Thatcher, he might just be too corporate now. I think he might get his ass kicked. I think that's where it's going to go.
You're basically calling him Corporate Kane then, aren't you?
Corporate Thatcher?
Corporate Thatcher, put him in a suit. There it is. No, I mean, we know what Timothy Thatcher could do when he gets into a ring. And if anybody can stand toe-to-toe with Mad Dog, it's going to be Thatcher. My prediction, blood, chaos, a lot of fun for people in the front row at this show, which, by the way, I believe tickets still are available. Unfortunately, we won't be able to make it this time around. We tried to, but pull up Eric's question real quick, Brett, if you don't mind. Warrior Wrestling, how much do they charge for tickets? I believe you can get GA, right, for about $30, Ian?
Somewhere
and then
there,
front row's usually like $100. They tailor it off as you go back and back.
Yeah, and if you just want to get into the building, the GA's tickets are awesome because
Worth it.
You literally just walk around and enjoy
Stand by
it.
the entrance.
Yeah, and if you've never stood during a whole wrestling show, you pretty much do that at a normal big wrestling show as well because you're not ever really in your seat that much. It's well worth it. Also, you could sweat off the booze, so.
Yeah, and like I was going to say, you can also stand directly by the entrance and high-five all the wrestlers as they come out. How cool is that for a GA ticket? That's a no-brainer. Seriously, people, we don't just say this because we have a relationship with them. This started before we even knew these people in this company. We were fans of Warrior before we even knew who Steve was, who Eric was, who Trevor was. We care about this company because they put on really good professional wrestling shows. And I don't care what any of those people have to say online about the AI graphics or whatever. Fuck off. It's good wrestling. That's all that matters. I'm done. I'm off my soapbox. I had to get a rant in, Ian. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Welcome back down.
No, I'm not down yet. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I got some vitamins that I need. Let me dump those on the table real quick. So, what's your official pick, by the way?
Mad Dog Conley.
I think I'm going with Mad Dog, too.
Yeah, I mean, Mad Dog with the dog collar match, it literally writes itself. The guy's an absolute monster, and I would not be shocked to see him for the Warrior title at some point.
Eric, I've only been in the ring once in my life, and I fractured my nose. So, this is a question, though, that Ian has mentioned to me. Ian has legitimately said, Gags, why don't you train?
I have said that because that conversation that Trevor was having there on why he started, and it was, well, it would be kind of
Similar
cool.
situation to where I'm at right now.
Well, just, I think it's worth a try, but I can't get this guy to budge, even when he doesn't have a job.
I would consider going into ref school.
Yeah, I can see it.
Because they like referees that are a little undersized, that don't make the wrestlers look large, and I'm that. I'm small. What's our next matchup we got here, Ian?
Well,
Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah, this one.
Sam Beale versus Trevor Outlaw.
It's in the background right now.
Yeah, I don't know what else to add to this. However,
Well, you got to pick. You got to pick.
Really, yeah, I was gonna say this one's really
You
tough.
got to pick. We don't need to talk about it. We just need a pick.
I'm going Trevor Outlaw because I think it is his time with now or never.
Oh, Jesus Christ! You bashed us on your way out, and now you're in the comment section? This guy.
He was quick.
Yeah, he's a professional, I tell you. So you're going with Trevor Outlaw to win this match?
Yes, I am.
Oh, boy, he's watching, isn't he?
Of course he is.
Sam Beale is going to win because he's the Perminator, baby. Look at that head of hair. I'm jealous because I'm bald. That's the only reason why I'm going with Sam Beale. That is a false accusation, Trevor Outlaw. Sam Beale hit and run my car. I did see his Instagram story, and that did kind of suck for Trevor. I'm not going to lie. Like, his mirror is completely off, yes.
Oh, no. Well, that's tough. That's tough. Was there a smashed beer can, though? Is that true?
Not on topic, but thoughts on Becky trying to get Danhausen to curse Jessica? No. That's my thoughts. Not right now, Eric. Sorry. We talked a little bit earlier, though. After that, we got Janai Kai versus Lily Ruiz. I hope I'm pronouncing that right because I'm not too familiar with her work, but I am familiar with Janai Kai. She has some mean kicks. She went up against Tootie Lynn recently, was unsuccessful, but I think she's going to get a lick back here and get a win. I'm going with Janai Kai.
It's hard to bet against Janai Kai just because she's a badass, and her kicks sound like gunshots when they happen.
They really do.
It's absolutely incredible, and everything about her kicks and everything about her style. There is no look at me. I'm gonna bash your head in, and Lily Ruiz should be ready, and she better be ready. I'm got Janai Kai. I'm sorry.
Oh, you don't have to apologize for picking Janai Kai. She's probably the favorite going into this matchup. But if you guys do not believe Trevor Outlaw, I am going to pull it up for you right now. I am doing this on the fly. Let's see if I can get it to work. Hold on. This is his story. Where did it go? Oh, it might have expired. So now I'm just giving Trevor free publicity on his story. All right, there you go, Trevor. Congrats.
The check must have paid.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can follow him on Instagram now, too, while you're at it. But I did see that he did get hit. But we're both going with Janai here, right?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. We're both on the same page with that one. Who are some big names you've had at Warrior? Will Ospreay, Brian Cage, Lance Archer. Come on, help me out here.
Bandito,
I know you. Yeah,
Jake something.
Bandito.
These are recent names too.
Rey Mysterio. That is 100% true.
The next guy that we're about to talk about as well.
Oh, okay. I like that lead-in. Mustafa Ali taking on Jason Hotch. And this matchup's interesting because I believe they're part of the same faction, right, in TNA right now. So them going up against one-on-one is going to be a lot of fun. But I think since this match is in Chicago, there really is that true home field advantage for Mustafa Ali in that city. So I'm going with Ali in this match. Even though low-key could be the match of the night.
I would not put it against it. I mean, you have Mustafa Ali, who's been in Warrior and has honestly continued to put on insane matches throughout his career, even past WWE. That WWE experience feels like a past life now for Mustafa Ali. He has completely reinvented himself. And if you haven't seen him live on the independent circuit, you are missing out because the dude is throttle to the floor at the moment. And yeah, like you said, it easily could be match of the night. I'm probably going to also have to stick with Mustafa Ali because I do think that hometown advantage, especially in Chicago, out of all places,
It matters.
It does. It really does.
And Jason Hotch is no slouch either. He's had matches against Sam Beale, I believe, in Warrior Wrestling that were fantastic. And those two guys they know what they're doing, man, when they're professionals. So you're going to get a really solid matchup here between Ali and Hotch. And they have that dynamic, too, like Eric said, with the Order 4 together in TNA right now, which TNA will be live in 15 minutes. You know who else will be live in 15 minutes? Tino's time. So go hang out with our boy Tino for TNA Impact Live in 15 minutes. Tino is a part of the Main Event Wrestling Network, as are we. So while we're here, we might as well tell you to go follow the Main Event Wrestling Network. They are the sponsor also of tomorrow's Warrior Wrestling Madness show, where they will get 100 shirts for the first 100 people that show up to tomorrow's show. Ian, I think it's a pretty cool idea. Well, first off, I think it's pretty cool that I am looking over here at a poster with our Main Event logo on it, and now I'm going to be looking at a t-shirt with the Warrior and the Main Event logo. It's pretty surreal.
It's a match made in heaven. It literally, I still think about it. Like our first stadium series we went to watch some Warrior Wrestling and getting to work backstage as well. And it's been a long time coming, but I think this relationship has been meant to be.
Look at that, guys. I got to get this framed. This is the very first time our logo was ever on a professional wrestling card. It means a lot to us here at OTM. It really does. But how many more matches we got? Two? Two matches. Maserati versus our good friend Tootie Lynn, who was a part of the last Main Event Mixer. We had an interview with her. If you haven't checked that out, it's on the Main Event YouTube channel. Please go ahead and do that because it was a fantastic conversation. You know my pick's going to be Tootie. She's from St. Louis. I love St. Louis. She loves food. I love food. It's a slam dunk. She's on a roll right now, Ian. She's not losing her Warrior Women's title.
All the things you said were true. St. Louis, food, on a roll. I'm probably not going to lose that title for a long time, but I said probably.
What if Kylie were to return?
That'd be fantastic.
Ooh, just saying. I'm just throwing it out there, Steve or Eric. Just saying.
But I will say, Maserati is obviously, we're not too familiar with her game. She's based out of California, so not around these parts in the wrestling, independent wrestling, as far as I know. I could be completely wrong. But
she's starting to make a name for herself.
Yeah.
I've seen that name on the interwebs.
Yeah.
God, I'm old. Interwebs.
She is a former Ohio Valley Wrestling champion, which is nothing to smirk at. That is that's a pretty big name right there for the women's championship. So there is some veteran experience there in Maserati, and she is a former champ. So I would not say this is going to be a walk in the park for Tootie Lynn, who is in Chicago territory as a huge St. Louis fan. I don't know. I'm just saying.
We won't tell her. We won't tell the audience that she's from St. Louis.
No. But on that note, I think Tootie Lynn, what she's doing with that championship, coming every single show, putting on fantastic matches with people that the Chicago audience really is not too familiar with, that takes a special talent. And I think Tootie Lynn is that talent. What she's doing with that championship, keep it going. Right now, there's not somebody that I'd be like, no, she's losing the title. But
there's there's not a frequent visitor to Warrior other than maybe Janai Kai, who did already have a match to go up against her. That's why I'm thinking, what if Kylie Ray were to return and face off against Tootie Lynn? But you spoke of Tootie, and she's kind of the face of Warrior Wrestling now. When I think, honestly, and I'm not just saying this because they've been on the show, when I think of the faces of Warrior Wrestling, I think of Gringo Loco. Mm-hmm. I think of Tootie Lynn right now. I'm talking current because you could say Sam Adonis was Mr. Warrior back in the day. But right now, I think of Gringo Loco, I think of Tootie Lynn, I think of Trevor Outlaw, and I think of Sam Beale. When I think of Warrior Wrestling this year in 2026, those are the names.
3 for 3 on shows. It means something, brother.
I'm telling you guys, these guys are legit. Do y'all watch MMA too? I do not. Ian, do you?
Too many people. No, there's too many people. I don't know all of them. I don't want to know all of them.
Yeah. They had Ray before he went back to WWE, yes.
Yeah.
That Ray was on one of the very first shows, which, guys, Warrior's got a lot of shows coming up.
Yeah, it was right before the first All In.
That's right, 2019 then.
Yeah.
There you go. Look it up. I guarantee you, if you search Rey Mysterio Warrior Wrestling, it'll pop right up for you. Well, speaking of Rey, who is a luchador, this show is centered around Lucha Libre because there's a Lucha War of Attrition matchup It's a very unique matchup. I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I don't even think I know how it exactly works. I know there's a lot of chaos going on here, but Gringo Loco looking to defend his title against a name that we definitely know in Beast Mortos. Vengador, Spiderfly Luchador, Rafael Quintero, and Noisy Boy are the other participants who we might not be too familiar with, but that's the good thing about Warrior, Ian, is you're going to go into the card not knowing maybe who half these names are, but after this match, I guarantee you everybody that's going to be in that auditorium will know who every one of these guys are.
Absolutely, and that's the beauty of independent wrestling. I didn't know a Sam Beale at one point. I didn't know a Trevor Outlaw at one point. I for sure didn't know Tootie Lynn at one point. And like you just said, they're all mainstays right now of this current Warrior Wrestling. It's also, we've seen a Lucha War of Attrition match. Again, not exactly sure how the rules work, but it's a Lucha match. It's going to be absolute madness.
Insane.
And Gringo Loco is in the match, so you know it's going to be fantastic. The
Base
guy
god.
is the base god. For literal and figurative reasons.
Correct.
But Beast Mortos as well. He's been at Warrior before. I think that was under his other name before he joined AEW. I forgot. Black Toros?
I think it was Black Toros. Yeah, I think you're right.
But
oh, wow. What a prediction from Eric. Mercedes is showing up. Yeah, that's our secret that we're holding back, guys. Mercedes Monet is showing up at Warrior.
Wow.
I would shit my pants if she showed up and confronted Tootie Lynn after the match or something. I'm like, oh, this is the one Warrior show we don't go to? This one? And now I'm thinking, but she needs to come out to her Sasha Banks theme because it's far better than the CEO one. Let's be real. Oh, it's way better. Are you kidding me? Had a dream, then I made it. No, there's not. Come on, you don't like that song?
It got too cheesy for me, brother.
Yeah, but CEO does it?
And it's supposed to be cheesy.
Who's winning this match? Is it Mr. Mercedes Monet?
I think it might be Beast Mortos. But
you are going Mr. Mercedes
yes,
Monet.
because here's my thing.
No disrespect, Beast Mortos. Sorry.
No, Beast Mortos is awesome.
Yes,
he's on my workout playlist, by the way, his theme song. Gringo Loco is absolutely fantastic, and he will be at every single Warrior show from here on out. I'm just making a bold prediction. Well, probably not every single, but most of them. He could have that title and have a match every single week. I just talked to myself. Gringo's retaining. What am I talking about?
Yeah, I was going to say, I just don't know enough about everybody else other than Beast Mortos to confidently go with the upset pick, but I feel like in this style of match, people are going to be in for a treat, and that's where the unpredictability factor comes into play. Yeah. So don't be surprised if any of those other names that we might not be too familiar with are ones that walk out of the championship. And that's another thing. The Lucha Championship's back. We have the Women's Championship, obviously, back in Warrior. I want to know, and I'm serious, the graphic behind us right now should be, whenever you decide to, Steve and Eric, bring back the Men's Warrior Championship, and right here behind us, these two are your World Championship match. Nobody starts a show like Sam Beale.
I agree. I completely agree. I also think Mad Dog Connolly deserves a shot, too.
Oh, yeah. Mad Dog should be in that conversation for sure.
Triple threat. Make it happen.
I'm trying to think of other names now. That Ben Bishop?
Ben Bishop would be a name.
Lance Archer? He's always
Archer would deserve it as well.
Oh, that's another big name I don't think we mentioned earlier.
Hear me out. Sam Beale versus Sam Adonis, the Battle of the Sams.
Now that's the real Sam's on Wrestling, if you get my inside joke there. I got to go with Trevor. Hey, all right, fair enough, Eric. You're going with Trevor Outlaw. I get it. Listen, that was a great conversation with Trevor. I didn't know what to expect when we invited him on. In full transparency, we've been trying to get this interview for years. And finally, Ian, here we are. We got probably the best version of Trevor Outlaw.
It was worth it. I think it was very much worth it. And where Trevor Outlaw's path is going is, I think he's winning that freelance title.
Oh, he's winning. He's beating Devon Moore for sure. Yeah,
has to. And like he said, he even said it. He has to. What he's going to do with that title is going to be fantastic, and eventually, what he's going to do with that Warrior title is going to be outstanding.
Time will tell. But best of luck to our friends Sam Beale and Trevor Outlaw. Trevor, thank you once again for taking time out of your day to come hang out with OTM finally. And unfortunately, you guys won't get to hang out with OTM tomorrow if you are attending the Warriors show. We can't make this one, but I do have some inside information, and once again, I'm breaking more news here on this stream. The Main Event Wrestling Network will return as a sponsor, but for their show in South Bend when they make their return, I believe in May. I will correct myself if I am wrong. I don't know the date for sure, but yeah, we are going to be the official sponsor once again. So Main Event moves, Ian. Main Event moves.
Main Event moves. They keep happening.
Where should they follow us?
Oh, they're going to follow us at Pod on the Mark and at mainevent_net on X and Instagram or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. But we're on the road to 600 subscribers. And I still need to, at some point, do a 24-hour live stream.
We called you out last week on it. Me and Brett called you out.
I was listening.
I heard.
Yeah.
And guys, if you want to help us keep the lights on here at OTM, On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, it doesn't have, .com, I should say. It doesn't have just OTM merch. It has main event merch as well. So you could support our network and the podcast by going to the website down below. Ian, you got any final remarks before we sign off for episode 283?
As Jim Tucker, the third co-host, would say, it's a great time to be a pro wrestling fan. Make sure you're following us on socials. Make sure you are trying to get to a Warrior Wrestling show because eventually I will be there at the same time as you.
You got to come to the South Bend one with us. You remember that venue, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
That was a good venue.
Esports Arena.
Auditorium. Pillman was there, I think. Wasn't he?
Sick. Yeah, that's where
now
we
he's
met,
Lexus King and the Birthright. Oh, yeah, and Takeshita was there, too.
Take.
That's another name that was at Warrior shows, Eric. There you go. Takeshita. Just so many big names. Christopher Daniels, another one. I can go on and on. Warrior Wrestling's legit. You guys are legit, and thank you for letting us get to 530 subscribers. So that means we are only 70 away now to getting to that 600 mark. We'll be back next week breaking down AEW Revolution, more than likely. Also, don't forget, live this weekend, we have not one, but two main event mixers coming your way over on the network. This Saturday, AAA Mixer, a Sábado Gigante special, hosted by the Great Brown Hope. He's going to be joined by his honorary Latinos. That will be live at 10 a.m. Eastern. And then Sunday morning, I will be joined by Mr. Cincinnati, one half of the Wrestling Junkies podcast, Tanner Lee, 1/3 of Kicking Out podcast, which is our only AEW-centered podcast on the network, and the man pulling double duty for the Mixers this weekend, Dark Star Shady, joins us this Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern for AEW Revolution. But once again, guys, I believe tickets are still available for tomorrow night. Logan Square Auditorium. It is Warrior Wrestling Madness. If you live in the Chicago area, go get your tickets now. It is going to be an insane show. Thank you, Trevor Outlaw, once again for your time. Thank you, Sam Beale, for stopping by. And thank you, everyone, for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling podcast.